in 2024.
The wait is over in Bahrain, and we are just hearing that the starting grid is on the look for a new driver. Who will it be?
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting shit.
And radio is good.
Here we go.
The Grand Prix is underway.
What a dramatic start. Can you believe it?
I feel like they're gonna bleed.
Yes!
Spun out of my
Oh, he's lost it.
Pop out, guys. That's it.
The pit lane's going to be alive now. They're all in.
On my own, here we go. I'm set on overdrive. On my own, here we go.
It's not every day that we get to see such incredible wheel-to-wheel racing.
Out of the final corner. And here's our winner today.
Can you beat me?
What a race. Thank you very much for that. Thank you to the fans.
Welcome in, everybody, to round number 12 of Prowler Racing League. Tonight, we are doing a sprint race here in Qatar. Here's our track, 16 corners. One giant DRS zone on the front straight. This is a very relatively smooth track. Not many elevation changes. And it should be a challenge for our drivers. Let's get into... We're loaded into the session. Real quick, let's take a look at our team standings. They are not working. Oh no. Okay. A little bit of a technical glitch, but as it stands right now, I'll have to pull this up because it's not working on my screen. Constructor standings. Currently, Aston Martin out in front with 315 to 224 of Mercedes. Apologies while I try to get this fixed real quick. Apologies while we get this fixed. Once we get this fixed, we will get out onto the track. Got a couple cars on track. Looks like AO might be the first one out. Let's see if this works now. All right, driver standings works. Zuluxi out in front, 260, 196 of Vanilla Spilla. I think technically we looked at it. I believe Zuluxi actually has secured the championship, but we will get into that later. There we go, team standings. So this is going to be where the fight is tonight. Aston Martin going up against Mercedes. Alpine clawing at them away, but McLaren right behind Alpine, looking to secure third place. Ferrari also right in the mix there with McLaren. Then we got Williams and Red Bull very close by 3 points. Down the order we go. So while we're looking at that now, let's head actually to the track. And let's see. We got to make sure our settings are good here. Apologies again. A little slow on the start. Let's get our leaderboard up and running. Check to see who's out there. It looks like Zaluxi's actually going out, setting a time already. Vanilla actually is ahead of Zaluxi, so let's watch Vanilla coming around. Doing his short qualifying on the medium. Mind you, for the sprint, there is no tire change. So he might be saving some soft tires for later on. Vanilla sets our first time, 1:22.001. Next up, we got Zaluxi, not far behind. Coming around the final corner, she is up on both first and second sectors. Across the line, Zaluxi P1, 1:21.697. Leading our group away. Next across the line, looks like it's going to be Vanilla Corey. Let's go check out Corey real quick. Corey not improving in his first sector. Doing his qualifying on the soft tires. Draco invalidating on his lap. So we had a little bit off there from one of the kicks. Corey flying down through 15. Coming down to the last corner of 16. It is a tight right onto the front. Oh, loses it there. And into the pits he goes. Corey does not set another lap. Looks like next up is going to be Sasuke. One of our reserve drivers started the season out as a full-time, had to drop out. But we're glad to have him back here at round 12 in Qatar. Sasuke across the line. P3 with a 1:22.183. Hayden across with a 1:22.730 on the softs. We got a yellow flag in the first sector. That's probably just Hayden slowing down, making sure that Boogie coming through gets cleanly through turn one, not being held up. That was a great sportsmanship move there from Hayden, making sure not to compromise Boogie as he's on his first flying lap of tonight. Most of this track is a slight incline uphill, leading all the way up to turn 16, where they head down to the start finish line. Boogie, first sector, 30.745. Only 0.6 off of the fastest first sector time of Vanilla with a 30.110. Hayden taking the shortcut there through the grass, or sand, I should say. Boogie coming around. Second sector, 0.7 down from our fastest lap of Zaluxi. But right now, because he hasn't set a time yet, this is actually going to be a pretty decent starting position. We got 5 minutes left to go in this sprint qualification. That moves Boogie up to P5. Only 1.1 off the leaders. Next, let's go check out AO. Ao coming out. Hasn't set a time yet. 31.658 in the first sector. 28.455 in the second sector. Right now, he's just looking to put a time down. Keeping an eye on for our front group to see if they come back out. Because if they do, we're going to watch them on telemetry to see how they handle getting around Qatar. Ao across the line, 125, 134. Doesn't look like anybody is on a timed lap yet. Next car is going to cross the line is Dragonflies. Does not improve his time. I believe that we got Draco in the pit. That might be... Truth is now exiting the pit, so he's going to be doing his outlap now. So right now, Oscar, Corey, and Truth still having the set of time. Corey's actually crossed the line for his outlap. He is now pushing hard on the mediums. Watch him go around the lap. Corey sets a 30.558 in that first sector. This time should hopefully get him into the top 10. Granted, it is early on. Out of our top three, we got Sasuke is exiting the pit lane, out onto the track. Corey making his way through. Be fast. Left-hander of 15. Coming down to start finish. Corey up to P4 with a 1:22.294 on the mediums. That is a great time for Corey to set. Corey improving drastically this season, putting in very good competition up at the front. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at... Oh, Truth is actually trying to set a time finally. We're going to keep an eye on... So just behind Truth is Zluxy. So what we're going to do is when Truth gets across the line, we'll switch over to Zluxy and watch her do another timed lap here. She should be able to get it in. Sasuke invalidating his. There's less than a minute left for them to get across the start-finish line. So this may be a do or die here. Truth around the corner. DRS wide open across the line. Truth up to P9. So now we're going to go head over to Zluxy. Oh, too far. Too many buttons to push. We're on with Zluxy as she's coming down. Let's actually watch the telemetry as we watch her attack the track here at Qatar. Very quick jab of the brakes there. Again, a very short, abrupt stamp on the brakes. She puts down a purple first sector. A little bit of feathering through the accelerator. Getting back up to speed. And as you can see, as we're going around here, heavy braking down to 10. Down 11. Curious to see how she handles turn 15. Another purple second sector. Sasuke Sasuke with the fastest lap, 121.504. I thought he invalidated that one, but clearly not. He must have got another lap in. Sasuke, the time to beat at 121.504. Zuluxi around the final corner. Zuluxi gets the pole position back. A 127.76 for Zuluxi. Next up across the line is going to be Vanilla, looking to beat that. Vanilla pips Sasuke to P2 with 121.030. Looks like everybody else might be done. Yep, Hayden's grayed out and Nick is grayed out. So that is qualifying for the sprint. So now we're just going to wait for the game to finish this up. That was a great lap from Zuluxi. Big movement there from Sasuke. Wasn't expecting that one, but Sasuke up to the front. Then Zuluxi and Vanilla getting past Sasuke. There we go. There's your first qualification. Let's render that real quick. All right, so now we're going to go into the race next. Let everybody get their settings. While we do that, we're actually going to pull up here for you guys our starting grid. If I can do it fast enough. Let's see. All right, and boop. There's your grid for the first part of tonight's race, the sprint. Zuluxi out in front, followed by Vanilla Spilla, Sasuke in the Haas in third, Oscar in fourth, with Corey right behind. Got both those Alpines going to be scoring some massive points tonight, I believe. Then we got Draco in P6, Hayden P7, Boogie bringing up P8, Pug Life P9, Nick Flies P10, Truth P11, and AO, our other reserve, in 12th. So now we're going to head on over to the racetrack while we wait for the go-ahead from our host, or technically I'm hosting tonight for the server, but Hayden, one of our admins, is covering for our admin TJ, who unfortunately isn't feeling well tonight. So we wish the best luck to him. I believe we had another driver that was out sick that checked in, wasn't able to make it. I think that's Pixelin, not able to make it tonight because he was sick. And shout out to all of our drivers who weren't able to make it tonight. You're missing a hell of a race. I'm for sure thinking about that. And then we only got one more round next week and we end season 4. Now we're just getting... I think everybody have a chance to get their settings set. Allowing everyone to make sure, because remember, during the sprint race, there is no pit stop. It is straight up racing action. Once the sprint race is done, we will be heading over to qualifying for the next session. All right, I hear the beeping of the session getting ready to go. Head to the track. Here we are on the grid. Lights are out and away we go. Small field tonight, only 12 entries. But everyone keeping it relatively clean so far. Zoluxi getting out in front. Everybody else in the back of the field keeping everything nice and clean. 10 laps for this sprint. Everyone going with the medium tire tonight. Very interesting choice. I bet you they're trying to save the softs for the actual Grand Prix after this. We still got all 12 cars all together here on the first lap. Got yellow flag. Possibly somebody. Oh, we got AO in the back, slowly going behind. Doesn't show any damage on his car, so it looks like we're still going good. The only car that has damage right now is Corey with front right wing damage. Also, Luxie out front, Vanilla hunting her down. Because this is a sprint race, a lot of action is going to happen very quickly. A couple corner cuts from everybody so far. Got to keep it clean. Here we are across the start finish line. Zoluxi setting us the fastest lap so far. With everybody cleanly keeping it behind. Ooh, looks like Dragonfly is going to look for a move on the inside in the back there. Let's head on back to this group. On the inside, which now puts him on the outside. Going against Corey. Corey with the wing damage. Corey maintains P6. Zoluxi with a warning for a corner cut. Corey going very wide there, taking out one of the braking boards. Defending very hard. Oh, our first penalty. Draco with 3 seconds for corner cutting. So that is going to drop him down. Oh, Corey with the 3 seconds as well. Corey's race now pretty much being shot. Don't know why the game's showing us a possible pit strategy, as there's no pits during the sprint. We'll take it anyways. As you can see, Corey's end plate is completely gone, but he's got those 3 seconds of penalties. Let's take a look here as to what our gain versus lost is. So our big mover right now is actually Pug Life, up 4 positions. Vanilla with the fastest lap, 1:23.352. Very close to Zoluxi right now. We'll get moving back up there pretty soon. Vanilla is actually up in the lead now. So we got Pug Life and Dragonflies. Big movers up 4 positions each. But our change of lead going to Vanilla. Watching Vanilla practice this early on this evening, he put down a lot of lap time. He's going to try to deny Zoluxi as many points as possible. We're currently on lap 3 of 10 of the sprint here at Qatar. Boogie with a warning for a corner cut. So far, the only 2 drivers that do not have a warning is Truth and Hayden. And Hayden actually dropping back to P11, losing out 4 positions. Not sure what caused him to end up in the back of the pack. He has no damage, so that's a good sign. But although last time out in Singapore, he got spun out early on the race and finished far ahead, but it'll be tricky to do tonight. Zoluxi going for the move on the inside. That DRS helping to get past. Down to turn 1. Your new leader is Zoluxi. Let's take a look at what our gaps are right now. It looks like Dragonflies, Corey, Draco, Dragonflies, all very close together. Probably our closest gap so far. Actually, Boogie, Hayden moving back up to P9, was all the way in 11th. He's making moves. Apologies to Ferrari for not capturing that. Oh, Hayden with the block up there. Gets a little wide. Truth looking to capitalize on that. gap up front. Half a second between Zluxy and Vanilla. They got Oscar about a second back, and then Sasuke 2.5 back from that. Right now, Sasuke with 3 seconds. Zluxy, another fastest lap, 1:23.153. We are halfway through this sprint race. Mind you, only the top 8 actually score points for a sprint. So Hayden is going to be working hard, even though now he has to defend against Truth. Truth up to P9. Truth has 2.5 seconds up to Draco to get into that points paying position. Let's head back up to our leaders. Vanilla, 0.3, 0.4 seconds back to Zluxy. It's going to be a very close battle here. Everybody's ERS, the batteries are staying pretty charged. Nobody's really deploying that much or that heavily to try to catch each other up. Granted, this is only a 10-lap race. It's ideal. To just, if you're in the top 8, stick with it. Because your points will be adding to your total for the end of the season. Mind you, this is round 12 of 13. Vanilla going for the move on the inside. Zluxy makes it down to turn 1. Zluxy right on his gearbox. This is going to be a DRS battle between them. So we're going to go take a look back at Pug Life, who's right on the gearbox of Nick. Mind you, the only DRS straightaway is on that front straight. The rest of the circuit is very windy, very flat out for most of it. Looks like Dragonflies looking to pull away. Props to Corey, even with that 3-second penalty, still racing with that damaged wing in P7. He's going to score 2 points if he maintains that position. Draco with another 3 seconds. He's up to 6 now. That's easily going to drop him out down to like P11, which means Hayden, he had to be within 3 seconds of Draco to inherit P8 for that 1 point. Now handily earns P8. Sasuke with another 3 seconds, up to 6 seconds now for Sasuke. That is easy going to drop him down to like P7. So some of these drivers further back are actually going to inherit quite a bit from these drivers that are getting penalties for being off the track. Pug Life going for the move on the inside. Around Dragonflies he goes up to P5. Now Pug Life is only 3 seconds back from Sasuke, so he's going to move up to P4 here at the end of the race for sure. Hayden dropping back down to P10. Pug Life with 3 seconds. So now he has to close that gap to Sasuke, because he is 3 seconds out with his 3-second penalty. He needs to be within 3 of Sasuke to get P4. If they were to finish right now, Pug Life would miss out by thousandths of a second. Corey with 3 seconds. Our penalty-driven drivers are racking up penalties as we go. They got to keep it on the track. With that being said, right now on lap 7, you can see everyone very close to the edge of the track limits there, just riding that white line, using the toe, using the DRS. Zluxy out front. AO with 3 seconds. So we're on lap 8. check out our race story with all of our drivers. Zaluxi started first. In first, has been battling strong against Vanilla Spilla, our driver, who started second. Still in second. Took the lead a couple times, but is back down to P2. Next up, we got Oscar. Moving up one position. Started fourth place. Now in third. Hunting down the 2 leaders. Only a second behind. So he is pretty much within DRS zone of our leader, or of Vanilla, directly ahead of him. Looks like AO is retired in the pits. He is out of the race. Next up, Sasuke started third, down fourth with 6 seconds of penalties. And we got Dragonflies battling out with Pug Life. Dragonflies started P10 up to 5th with no penalties. So that is a great move up the field. 2 laps left to go in the sprint. Next up, we got Pug. Started 9th up to 6th. So he's just following right along with Dragonflies. Next up, we got the wing damage and 6 seconds of penalties of Corey. Started 5th, dropped down to 7th. It's going to drop down further with those penalties. Next up, we got Draco. Started 6th, dropped down to 8th. Also has 6 seconds of penalties. No damage, though. But he's going to drop down the order when we come across the line. Next up, we got Hayden. Started 7th, dropped down to 9th, but will inherit positions when the penalties go through at the end of this race. Car's looking a little squirrely there. Next up, we got Truth. Started 11th, up to 10th. He will also inherit some positions, hopefully getting him into the points at the end of this race. Then we got Boogie. Started 8th, dropped down to 11th, got caught up in some little kerfuffles early on, working his way back up to the front. He's 2.5 seconds out from Truth, but hopefully with Draco's penalty, he can claw away at some positions. Back up to the front, coming across the line, final lap of the race. Zaluxi still out in front with Vanilla right behind. Vanilla going for the move we expected. Oh, Zaluxi getting to the backside of Vanilla. Vanilla having to go wide from that incident. All while Oscar trying to take advantage of the situation right on the gearbox of Vanilla. Tough break for Vanilla. Getting absolutely scooped up by Zaluxi there. That may have been Vanilla's only chance to get the lead away from Zaluxi, as because of the nature of this track, there's not many spots for overtaking. Next one would be kind of here, but not really, because it is such a high speed corner. Zaluxi again dominating another race here at Prowler Racing League. Here we are across the line. Zaluxi P1, Vanilla P2, Oscar P3, Sasuke coming across the line with 6 seconds. Let's see where this moves him down as we go. Dragonflies coming across the line. Barely within that 6 seconds, will inherit. Next up, we got Draco with his 6 seconds. He's going to come across the line, and the line shuffles around as the other drivers come across. That is everyone across the line. Zaluxi, your winner, followed by Vanilla, Oscar, Dragonfly, Sasuke, Hayden, Nick. Dragonflies, your driver of the day for the sprint. We got Hayden, Truth, Pug Life, Boogie, Draco, and Corey, with AO unfortunately retiring out. That is your sprint race. Dragonflies driver of the day, Zaluxi with the fastest lap, 1:23.153. keep that in mind for the next race to see if she can beat that during the actual Grand Prix. All right, so now we'll head back to the garage. Everyone will now redo their setups, get their new tires on, and head out onto the track to get qualifying for tonight's Grand Prix underway. All right, let's head back to the track. We're just waiting for everyone to get onto track. Once we do, we'll hop on board with the first car out. I'm seeing tire selection right now. Zaluxi intermediates, Truth medium, Draco medium, everyone else on the softs. So that might have been a V-carb that went out first. So that's probably Truth. So let's head down. Let's go to Truth. Yep, Truth is exiting the pit lane, so we'll be here with Truth as he does his outlap. Zaluxi also on an outlap, but Zaluxi and Hayden are on the intermediates for their installation laps. A lot of drivers have been known to do this where they'll go out because track conditions have changed from when they did qualifying earlier in the quote-unquote day because of the weather conditions. Actually, speaking of weather, let's check that real quick. That's going to be clear for tonight. No threat of rain for our drivers for tonight. So, first one out is Truth, who we're on board with as we're going around the track. As we get closer to the start of his lap, we'll switch to checking his time as he comes across. He is setting his time on these first couple laps on the medium. Truth across the line, starting his lap. Hayden and Zaluxi invalidating as they're going around on those intermediates. Get used to see what the track conditions are. Now, up ahead of Truth, we do have a kick. Of AO. So, hopefully AO should be able to pull to the side here. And, yep, great move from AO there. Truth continuing on the mediums, setting our first time. Wait a minute, Zaluxi, great out. What happened to Zaluxi? Message to Zaluxi, see what happened there. Truth setting our first time, 1:23.556. Next up is going to be Sasuke setting our next time. Oh, tricksy little Zaluxi. Because Zaluxi more or less has wrapped this season up as our champion, which we'll officially announce at the end of the season because there's permutations and everything else for everybody else. But so Zuluxi is reported from the team saying there's issue with her engine and she shouldn't qualify, so she'll be starting from the back. Sasuke, our fastest lap, 1:21.848 as he comes across the line. Next up is going to be AO. It looks like it may be Truth coming up next, but AO setting his first lap, coming down through 15, around 16, and downhill to the start finish line. Doesn't look like much of a downhill, but it is. Down to the start finish line, AO sets a time of 1:23.973. Next up across the line is more than likely going to be Draco. Vanilla getting out of the way there of cars coming out onto track. Let's go check. Dragonflies, purple first sector. Let's watch as he comes through. I'll be keeping an eye on Vanilla because I want to see what he does. We'll actually watch his telemetry as he comes out. Round 15, down to 16. And across the line, P2, 1:22.132. Not the fastest lap, but dang near close. Let's head on down to Vanilla because I know he's getting close. Coming around, I think we're at turn 12 right now. We'll go with Vanilla, and we'll pull up his telemetry to see how he attacks this track. Curious to see how some of these high-speed corners, how he actually handles going through that. So here we go. Vanilla across the start-finish line, setting his timer on the softs. Quick jab of the brakes there. Slowly get on the accelerator as it goes around turn 1. Quick jabs on the brake. I love to see that telemetry where you can just see him just slam on the brakes real quick. And it wasn't even a full brake pressure going through there. Yeah, not even a full pressure. It was like half brake. Carrying as much speed as possible. Certain corners, Sasuke, fastest lap, 1:21.476. But it is complete off throttle. Half brake. Only 50%. It's interesting. A little harder on the brakes there, but still complete on off, or off the accelerator and back on it slowly. 10 minutes left to go. Flat out through turn 14. Look at that. Absolute gas pedal slammed down. Flat out through 15. Oh, and invalidates. Oh, unfortunate. Was flying. Invalidates. Into the pits he comes. That was incredible to watch the telemetry, seeing he was flat out. He was risking it for the biscuit. It did not pay off and invalidated that lap. Unfortunate for Vanilla. He's going to have to give that another shot. Next up, we got Corey up to P3 with a 1:22.451. Got Pug Life on a timed lap coming around. Looking to improve. He is so far green in the first two sectors. He's going to be coming down to the start finish line, looking to improve from P5. Let's see what he can do. P3 for Pug Life, 1:22.215. Next up across the line, we're probably going to miss him because he's right there. Boogie across the line up to P6, 1:22.914. Next up we got is Hayden into the pits. Not going to finish that lap. So, looks like Draco possibly on an out lap. Then we got Truth. I believe these guys are on an out lap. But we shall see. Corey not improving, so he's probably on his cooldown. So we'll stay here. Actually, yeah, we'll go with Truth. Looking to improve on his time. That's a 123.556 on his outlap. He is now on a flyer. About half battery. Unfortunately, he lost some of his battery during that outlap. Maybe it was an outlap. Wasn't set of time. Draco invalidates. About 7 minutes left in the session. Truth looking to improve. Do have up ahead. So Sasuke, Dragonflies, and Pug are all in the pits, but out on track. Coming around the final corner, we got Vanilla hauling ass, trying to get up to the front. We know he goes flat out. We'll see what he can do here. Mind you, the fastest lap was a 1:20.776 from Zuluxi in the sprint. We're currently sitting at a 1:21.476. Keep an eye on that. Vanilla, fastest first sector, 30.107. I'm just going to turn the telemetry on real quick just because I want to watch this. Ooh. Let's see if it goes flat out again. Purple, middle sector. Vanilla, still flying. Flat out the whole way. Oh, a little lift there to keep it within track limits. He had to compromise just a hair to keep it in track limits. Going around turn 16. Here he comes across the line. Vanilla up to P1, a 1:21.456. That was a blistering lap there from Vanilla. Looking to get himself safely out in front. Oscar, personal best in the first sector, best middle sector. Coming around the final corner. Let's see what he can do. Coming across the line. Oscar pips Vanilla with a 1:21.321. That puts Oscar up in front by only a tenth. 1.135. We got less than 5 minutes left to go. Chances are Vanilla's probably going to come back in and try again to get that back from Oscar. Right now, Sasuke, Dragonflies, Pug, Corey, and Hayden all in the pits while Draco is out on lap. Tough break for Vanilla to get pipped like that. There he goes, Vanilla into the pits. Looking to probably get a new set of tires. Let's head on down to Draco. Not much battery life left on that one. Actually, let's pull up the ERS. You can see he's depleted that battery. He's not going to get any help from the ERS system here on this lap. And invalidates there out of turn 14. That should cause him to come to the pits. Next up on a lap right now is AO. AO not improving on his time right now. Dives into the pits. So with 3 minutes left to go, just over 3 minutes, we're going to have a rash of everyone coming out out onto the track. Boogie retires P9. It's gonna be a decent start for him. We're just gonna keep an eye on the scoreboard here to see who's gonna be exiting the pits first. Oh, Boogie actually retired on track. Looks like Boogie may have hit the wall. Retired out on track. Unfortunate. Yep. All right, so Truth, first one out. Followed by Sasuke. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Our top basically our top 5 are all within a second. Top 6. Top 5. So we're actually going to see here. So Sasuke is actually the next one. We'll watch Sasuke because he's going to be one of our top drivers setting a time here. He's right on the back of Draco. Let's see if Draco lets him pass. He does. Smart move from Draco. Draco's pace is not as close to Sasuke as he would like, so it makes sense to let Sasuke go. Looks like a couple drivers are invalidating their outlaps, trying to make it around in time, which they should. We will see as Sasuke comes down to the final corner. Watch his lap time. Sasuke across the line, starting us off on the final laps. Less than a minute left to go. Let's see if everyone can get across the line in time to set their laps. Down to turn 1. Heavy braking. Switching back to turn 2, which tightens up as you go around it, to turn 3, going around the right side. Then you got a double right-hander of 4 and 5. Down to a hairpin of 6. Sasuke not improving in that first sector. Looks like everyone will get across the line in time to get these final laps. Invalidates at turn 11, turn 10. So next up is going to be Dragonflies. Vanilla actually has the fastest first sector. Was actually just ahead of Dragonfly. So let's watch Vanilla. Vanilla coming down to the last sector. Personal best middle, fastest first. Cross the line. Vanilla 1:21.064 sets our fastest lap. Oscar not faster in the first sector, sets that middle sector alight. Hit it across line, P7. We're watching Oscar right now, last car on track. Can't do it. 2/10 off of Vanilla. Vanilla, your pole setter. Across the line. So you got Vanilla, Oscar, Sasuke, Nick, Corey, Puglife, Hayden, Draco, Boogie, Truth, Ao, and Zaluxy. Great last lap there from Vanilla to pull off the pole for the Grand Prix. Get our grid graphics saved. Up. Now we're waiting for Hayden to give us the goal. But while we wait, let's take a look at tonight's grid for the actual Grand Prix. Vanilla Spilla out in front with a 121.064, followed up by Oscar, Sasuke, Dragonflies, Corey, Puglife, Hayden, Draco, Boogie, Truth, Ao, and Zaluxy, who had to mysteriously retire from qualifying there at the end. So now we will wait for the announcement from our lobby administrator. Everyone's going to get their, as the night cools off, they're going to have different wing settings because during the day versus night, you got denser air. So might have slight tweaks in wings, a little bit of tweaks in the ride height. It'll be interesting to see what everyone goes with for tire selection going into the Grand Prix. Again, this is round 12 of 13 of the Prowler Racing League. Funny reminder from Corey for everyone to go use the bathroom real quick before we get going. Sasuke admitting to being a little not all there tonight, which is fine because that gives everyone else that is not as fast as him an opportunity to make up some positions, but gotta be leery trying to pass Sasuke. Sasuke is also, I believe, one of our European drivers. It was very late for him. All right. We just got the go-ahead from Hayden in the Discord. So now we're just waiting for everyone to hit the X's to get readied up. And then once we're ready up, we're on the track, ready to race. Don't forget, Zaluxy starting from the back. So it'll be interesting to see how she makes her way up through the grid. We only have 12 cars tonight, so it should be a very interesting session, to say the least. Lights are up. Lights are out, and away we go. That was a very long light. Ao missing out in the back there. So is Zaluxy a little bit. Looks like, Zaluxy a little bit jumping around. But Vanilla out front getting a little bit hit from Oscar. Everyone's got to remember, this is a long race. 29 laps long. Can't be getting a little overzealous as we get going. Everyone opting to start the race on the mediums. Everyone keeping it clean. No wing damage so far. Possible race strategies the game is saying is medium to hard or medium hard. And that is due to our tire life. The game is looking at these mediums should only last about 10 to 12 laps. Oh, we got some desync issues there. Some drivers are jumping around like crazy. Looks like I may have lost the YouTube stream. We'll see. Still says I'm live, so I'm not sure. Vanilla setting our fastest lap at 126 for coming down to turn 1. Apologies for the little glitches there. I believe the disconnection or the net coding actually was due to me. Hayden's out. Virtual safety car is deployed. Where did Hayden lost it through exit of turn 1. Looks like he collected a wall. 100% damage on the front wing. That is Hayden's race done. Take a look at Discord to see what the reaction is. Looks like he got into it with Draco. Everybody keeping their deltas proper as we're going through this virtual safety car. Should be ending soon. Let's go check out Draco's car, see if there's any damage on there. We didn't see what happened, so don't know if it was... problem. Doesn't look like there's any damage. Car's still going. So, while this virtual safety car is going on, it should end pretty quickly here. Let's check to see. Yep, VSC is now ending. So hopefully... Draco with the drive-through penalty, speeding under virtual safety car. There is a delta you have to follow before going racing. It looks like he missed out on that. Ooh, big tussle there between Dragonflies and Sasuke. Staying side by side as they're battling here. Sasuke gets the better of the two, up to P3 for Sasuke. So far, everyone keeping it relatively clean. Only one warning so far, and that's for Truth. Let's go check out Zuluxi charging her way through the field. She's up to P7. Actually, let's take a look at that real quick. We can take a look at the race story. We're only 3 laps in, but Zuluxi started P7 or P12, now up to P7. Keep that ERS pretty strong compared to everyone else around her. She is now at the tail end of this lead pack. Next pack is going to be Truth, followed closely behind by Boogie. Oscar sets our fastest lap, 124.306. Boogie going for the inside. And around Truth he goes. Using a massive amount of battery there. Down to 25%, whereas Truth is sitting about 65. Boogie will be on the defensive going forward. Dragonflies on Sasuke. Right on the gearbox, a 10th behind. Almost making contact there through turn 6. Through the fast turn 7. Dragonfly is not giving anything up there to Sasuke. Then we got Zuluxi right on the gearbox of Corey. We'll stay with Corey here. Watch how he reacts to Zuluxi being right behind. Zuluxi moving to the inside. DRS wide open. Corey trying to defend with DRS, but Zuluxi got the DRS open before Corey could, and Zuluxi now up to P6 with a warning. Zuluxi picking up a warning there for going wide out of the exit, but she is still on the move. Her next target is Pug Life 2/10 ahead. She's closing that gap quickly. Up front, we got Oscar leading the race to Vanilla. Zuluxi sets the fastest first sector. Advantage to being in this train. She can actually get a pull from everybody else, or a tow, as they say. And she'll have DRS, but the problem is she'll also be dealing with dirty air going through these high-speed corners. I would be very surprised if she can pull off fastest lap this lap, especially with the amount of traffic ahead of her. As the pack is coming down to turn 16, Zuluxi 3/10 back will get DRS, but everyone else has DRS, so it should be interesting to see. She's waiting. Fastest lap, 124.148. Hangs back a little bit as the Haas of Pug Life looks to make a move on Dragonflies. Zuluxi's fastest lap now, I believe, only a second off of her fastest lap in the sprint. Ooh, Zuluxi, oh, getting a little bit sideways there. Dragonflies and Sasuke going hard at it, while Pug Life right there, while Zuluxi looking to capitalize on this. Let's check out the side-by-side battle right here between Sasuke. It's a hot sandwich with that kick in the middle. Vanilla back out front, building a gap to Oscar. We missed that overtake. But right now, this hot sandwich is looking very spicy. Down through turn 16. Onto the straightaway. Everyone getting DRS from everybody because they're so close together. Zuluxi going for the move on Pug on the inside. Zuluxi keeps the position, gets past. Now is a double patty sandwich of a Haas. Zuluxi thinking about making a move there on Dragonflies. Doesn't go for it. Warning for Vanilla. Vanilla pushing hard to keep this lead. Oh, Zuluxi getting hit in the back from Pug Life. Oscar getting a 3-second penalty. Pug Life picking up wing damage there from hitting Zuluxi. Zuluxi trying to give Pug a wide berth after that incident. As you can see, the end plate there, Pug absolutely just gone. So we'll go back up the order. Dragonflies going after Sasuke while Zuluxi's right there trying to take care of everything. Vanilla out front trying to build a gap. 7/10 to Oscar. Oscar has a 3-second penalty, which is going to hurt him at the end of the race. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we go. Zuluxi does have 2 warnings, so if she gets another corner cut, she is at risk of a 3-second penalty as well. Oscar currently being harassed by Sasuke. Your top 5 so close together here. All within 2 seconds of the leader. Next you got Dragonflies defending against Zuluxi, but also trying to attack Sasuke. Oh, while Sasuke just trying to get away, go after Oscar, and Vanilla up 1.2 to Oscar. He's just cruising at this point. We'll keep an eye on him occasionally to see how he's going. Zuluxi going wide, 3 seconds. Sasuke going wide, gain 3 seconds. They're trying so hard. Oscar breaking the toe. As soon as they get through, they're going almost 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Dragonfly's up to P2, followed by Sasuke. Zuluxi on the inside of Oscar. Now Oscar's on the inside of Zuluxi. Zuluxi doing everything she can. Stick your nose on the inside there. Sasuke not giving an inch. Zuluxi tried to over-under and make, looks like they made contact there. Zuluxi up to P3. Ooh, looks like that may have been contact on the inside to Sasuke. This camera angle is not doing good for this battle. Let's see. Nope, it's staying on the same camera. Can't get out of it. Mind you, Sasuke has a little bit of damage on the front wing. Zuluxi doing everything she can to get up to the front. While all this is going on, you've got Vanilla 1.8 out in front, building the gap. He's out of DRS zone by a full second almost. It's second place Dragonflies. Oscar coming into the pits. Let's see what his strategy is going to be. Pug Life also into the pits. Oscar with some front wing damage. They're doing a swap there, going on to the hards. It's going to be a slow stop. Going to be about 7 seconds. Yep, 7.4. He's still sitting there. Go, go, go. Back out into the track he goes. Next up, we got Pug, who also did a wing change after making contact to the back of Zuluxi. They're going to come on to the pits, or exit the pits right out in front of Draco. So we head back up to the front. You got Vanilla now 2.4 seconds out in front of the rest of the field. Next up, we got Sasuke defending against Zuluxi. They both have 3 seconds penalties. Zuluxi up to P2. Very hard battling there. Sasuke going wide again, gets another warning. These guys and gals are battling so hard. They're pushing so hard. Dragonflies into the pits. No wing damage, so this should be a much faster pit stop. Mind you, those mediums are 10 laps old, which is roughly what the game was saying the tire life should be. Dragonflies coming to the pit, switching to the hards. As did what Oscar and Pug Life did as well. Back out. There's Oscar coming across the top of the screen. Dragonflies makes it out in front. Corey, 3 seconds penalty. And as I said, the mediums should only last 10 to 12 laps. We're on lap 11 of 29 here at Qatar. Vanilla out front, 2.2 seconds to Zuluxi. Actually, while we're waiting here, because I know these front runners are going to be pitting soon, let's take a look at the race story so far. Vanilla, after setting pole position, battling hard with Oscar, currently P1 by 2 seconds. Vanilla Spilla. Next up, we got Zuluxi, started in the back. Started 12th, up to second with 3 seconds of penalties and no damage. Across the line. Next up, we got Sasuke. Again, on the mediums, started the race on the mediums. 3 seconds worth of penalties. It says he has 0% wing damage. It is lit up, but it says he has damage. So let's take a look at this. Where is car info? There we go. Okay, so he has a little bit. It's still green. His front wing's fine. He's fine. Yeah, that's not a problem. Okay, so Sasuke, 3 seconds penalties. In P3, started third, in third. Then we got Boogie, started ninth, up to fourth on the same set as mediums they started on. No penalties, so he's doing good. He's roughly about 12 seconds back to those lead 3 cars. Then we got Truth, started on the mediums. Started 10th, up to 5th. 3 seconds penalties he'll have to deal with at the end of the race. Next up, we got AO. Started P11, now up to 6th on those mediums, no damage. Going along. Then we got Dragonflies, our first pitters. Zuluxi, 10 seconds speeding in the pit lane. Oh, Zuluxi cruising into the pit lane, absolutely ruins an amazing charge. Out they come. Boogie also coming into the pits. I think all those front runners were pitting. 2.3 seconds for Boogie. Out he comes. So that is pretty much everyone pitted except for Truth and AO. Truth leading us off on the mediums that he started on. Those are 12 lap old. The game was predicting that those tires would be done. So as you can see here, Truth and AO, the only two have not pitted yet. Currently first and second. We're on lap 13 of 29 at Qatar. Only one retirement so far, the Ferrari of Hayden. Everyone else so far cruising pretty good. Close battles up at the front. See what happens here. If Truth comes in, he does. Sasuke with a 3-second penalty. So now that all the pit stops are being handled at the moment, our running order more or less is getting sorted. So as it stands, Vanilla out in front being harassed by Zuluxi, who started last. That has got to be such a mental mind game for Vanilla that Zuluxi retired during qualifying, couldn't qualify, made her way from the back of the grid in 12th all the way up to first or second now in 14 laps. But Zuluxi does have at least 3 seconds. I'm pretty sure. Let me pull up the in-game one. Let's look at details. Penalties. Yeah, Zuluxi has 13 seconds. So she's going to either have to pit and serve that 10 seconds, or it's going to get added on at the end. So that'll be an interesting strategy call for Zuluxi. Zuluxi looking like she wants to go for a move on the inside. Doesn't do it there. Vanilla having to defend. Defends the inside line. Zuluxi, DRS wide open, goes around the outside. P1 for Zuluxi. Now, here's where the challenge is. Does Zuluxi push as hard as she can to build a gap that she can pit and remove that 10 seconds, or does she just try to build a gap of 13? It might be easier for her to just build a gap of 13 seconds than it would be to build a gap of, I want to say like the pit lane delta is like 20 something seconds plus the 10 seconds. So you're looking at almost half a minute on a track that the lap time is only 1:23. So, yeah, I think at this point, Zuluxi, best course of action. We're on lap 15 of 29. She's going to try to build a gap of 13 seconds to Vanilla. Vanilla is going to have to make sure that does not happen. He just has to stay within 13 seconds and not let any of those guys behind battle with him. Because if he starts battling any of the cars behind him, they're going to lose out time to Zuluxi. Zuluxi, 1:23.947, close to her fastest lap in the sprint. Her fastest lap in the sprint was 1:23.153. So she is only off by 8/10, roughly 8/10, that she needs to beat her fastest lap during the sprint. So while these two are battling it out for the front, basically Vanilla just needs to keep her within 13 seconds. We're gonna move back. Sasuke, 6 seconds of penalties with Dragonflies directly behind. Sasuke gonna be losing out massively if the field sticks close together. So actually, now we can go through our race story because everybody's pitted. This is where we're at so far. So Zuluxi, your championship leader, started 12th, now in first, has 13 seconds of penalties to offset. So she either needs to get ahead by like 35 seconds to serve her 10-second penalty, or just run the race out, not get any more penalties, and build a 13-second gap to Vanilla. Next up, Vanilla started on pole position, keeping that gap to Zuluxi as close as possible and not get any penalties at the same time. Needs to stay within 13 seconds. But at the same time, you got Sasuke, Zuluxi with another 3. It's 16 seconds now. Sasuke with 6 seconds of penalties needs to try to catch up to Zuluxi. He is currently within range to overtake Zuluxi. Actually, let's change gap to leader. This will be a good indicator. So, as it stands right now, Zuluxi will be finishing in P6. Corey with 3-second penalty. So, Sasuke started third, currently third, doing great, but does have 6 seconds of penalties. Dragonflies, no penalties, started fourth in fourth, breaking even so far. Next up, we got Oscar. Started second, dropped down to fifth now, has 3 seconds of penalties that he needs to keep in mind when he's going tonight to finish out this race. He is being hunted down by Corey, who is currently in fifth, started sixth. He has 6 seconds of penalties. So he's gonna have to work even harder to get past his teammate. Now they could work together as a team, go, hey man, you got 3 seconds, I got 6 seconds. If he's faster, actually, let's see here. We do have this option. Driver ahead. Chasing. Gap ahead. No, okay. I think we got to go to. Corey's got 6 seconds now, so it is a straight up race between the two Alpines. If we do distance behind, no. Gap behind, no. Life speed behind, no. I can't remember. There was one that showed who was faster, but Corey, P6 with 6 seconds penalties, started fifth, now dropped down to sixth. Then we got Pug Life, started the race in sixth, currently seventh. He has 3 seconds penalties. Boogie, one of our cleanest drivers of the season. I don't think he's racked up any penalties during the sessions. Started started ninth, now in eighth. We have a new leader, Vanilla, getting past Zuluxi. He's just going, nope, we're not doing this today. Boogie with no penalties, doing absolutely fantastic right now with no damage either. Sasuke with another 3 seconds. These guys are racking him up like crazy. Next up, we got Truth. Started 10th, now up to 9th. Has 3 seconds of penalties to deal with at the end of the race. Followed up by Ayo. No penalties, keeping it nice and clean. Started the race in 11th, up to 10th. That is going to be a points scoring position for the kick. Ayo is a reserve driver, so this will not count for the Drivers' Championship, but it does help Kick get out of the bottom of the championship. Next up, we got Draco. Started 8th all the way in 11th. Made contact early on with Hayden. No penalties. Then we got Hayden, who's out. So we're going back up to the front. Vanilla leading us away. Does have 3 seconds. So Vanilla did get 3 seconds of penalties. But Zeluxi currently sitting. As Zeluxi now takes the lead. It's going to be a DRS back and forth. 10 laps left to go. Zeluxi with 16 seconds of penalties. Vanilla not letting her go. She is going to drop down the order till at least still P6. When everything is said and done, when Zeluxi crosses the line, she's going to drop down like a stone. So further back, let's check out what the intervals are, see if there's any close battles going on. We actually have a close one with Oscar and Corey. So Corey got past Oscar now in P6, Corey up to P5. So right now, this right here, the between two Alpines and Vanilla and Zeluxi are our two closest battles. Actually, Dragonfly is getting a little bit closer to Sasuke. Only about half a second away from him. Gap is closing. See if we can do anything as we come down to turn 16. 9 laps left to go. This 29 lap race. Zeluxi still sitting with the fastest lap of 1:23.947. That is roughly 0.8 off of her fastest. Dragonfly is right on the gearbox there of Sasuke. Mind you, Dragonflies has no penalties. Sasuke is up to 9 right now. So Dragonflies doesn't really have to do anything to inherit 2 positions, because Zeluxi's going to drop back down to at least P6. So right now, Dragonflies is fighting for a podium position. Not close enough to get Vanilla, because Vanilla has 3 seconds, but right now they're sitting back roughly about 10 seconds back from our leader. So far, we only have 3 drivers that are clean. We got Dragonflies, Boogie, and Ayo, our 3 drivers with no penalties. The penalties are getting on the verge of ridiculous. As you can see here, we are missing the 10 seconds that Zeluxi added on for speeding in the pit lane. But Zeluxi with 16, Vanilla with 3, Sasuke with 9, Oscar with 9, Corey with 9. Dragonfly is up to P3. Great move down to turn 1. Oh, getting very sideways there. Sasuke almost collecting him. Great overtake there from Dragonflies. Then we got Corey with 6 seconds of penalties. Pug Life with 3. So the leaderboard will shuffle quite a bit when we get back to the end of this race. Take a quick look at our tire wear. Everyone seems to be pretty even. Nobody, other than Oscar with his fronts, the 31%. It's the highest we see here. Dragon up to 28. Everyone else staying pretty even for their wear. Everyone is on the hards. The oldest hards out there right now is Oscar and Pug Life at 12 laps. This currently is... Nope. Sasuke. Yep, Sasuke getting past Dragonflies, using that DRS on that front straight. That turn one overtake spot is where we're seeing most of the overtakes for tonight. Most of them DRS back and forth, back and forth. Or with another warning. Actually, we can take a look at that real quick. As you can see, the first column there is the warning. Sasuke is up to 10 warnings. Oscar up to 12 now with another 3-second penalty. So as it goes right now, our closest battle is between Sasuke, Dragonflies, and also Zuluxi, Vanilla. The unfortunate thing is, because of the penalties, they aren't really battles. Vanilla will be inheriting the lead from Zuluxi after the checkered flag, whereas Dragonflies will also be inheriting from Sasuke. Vanilla currently with 3 seconds of penalties to Zuluxi 16, and Dragonflies with no penalties against Sasuke's 9. The next closest battle after that is the two Alpines of Corey with 6 seconds of penalties to Oscar's 12. So as it stands right now, we can guarantee that Vanilla will be your winner for tonight. We got 5 laps left to go, 6 left. We're on lap 24 of 29. Vanilla desperately wants to win this fair and square, not by penalties, knowing him. He wants to finish this race ahead of Zuluxi. Draco is out of the race. Must have missed that. 5 laps left to go. Vanilla Spilla takes the lead, trying to win this outright, fair and square. Currently sitting on 3 seconds of penalties. Then we got Zuluxi sitting on 16. Dragonflies getting past Sasuke to P3, so Dragonflies is actually going to inherit second position. So it looks like right now your top 6, well, your 2nd through 6 will be shuffling quite extremely. Unfortunately, Pug Life and P7 sitting back 21 seconds to 6th place. So with Oscar's 12 seconds of penalties, he will still finish ahead of Pug Life at the end of this race. Zuluxi going for the move on the inside. Gets it. Now Vanilla's going to try again to get past Zuluxi to win this outright and not inherit the win. It's always better to to finish the win out in front than to inherit it. So this is your battle for the lead, even though it's not really a battle due to penalties. Next up, you got your next battle, which really isn't a battle because Nick, 0 penalties out in front of Sasuke. Zuluxi with another 3 seconds, up to 19 now. So that is going to put Zuluxi down to still P6. That doesn't change. So you got your leader, Zuluxi, sitting out front with 19 seconds of penalties. 10 of those she could serve. 9 of them she can't. Next up, we got Vanilla in P2 doing the DRS swap down the front straight. Vanilla takes the lead, lap 27 to 29, which if they keep this DRS train back and forth going, Zuluxi will get on the next lap for lap 28, and then for the final lap, Vanilla should get it back to be leading the race. Vanilla trying so hard to win this outright by staying in front of Zuluxi. He wants to earn this win, not be handed it to him. Next up, you got Dragonflies. Again, no penalty. Only 3 drivers. Dragonflies, Boogie, and AO, no penalties. Dragonflies, P3. Sasuke directly behind, battling it out. We got the 2 Alpines of Oscar and Corey. Smart move with them would be to let Corey through to try to get closer, because they got to close that gap down to Sasuke. Sasuke with another 3 seconds. There we go. 2 laps left to go. Zuluxi retakes the lead down turn 1. So right now, the running order doesn't really matter, because there we go with Sasuke getting past Dragonflies, but with penalties, Dragonflies will re-inherit that position. We'll put up the penalties so everyone can see. Mind you, the 10 seconds for Zuluxi is not showing it. So. And honestly, the only true clean driver tonight is Boogie. Let's go check him out down there. Boogie has no warnings, no penalties, no damage. Started the race in 9th. Up 1 position to P8. Keeping it nice and clean. Doing fantastic. You got Boogie in the McLaren. Looks like Oscar got another 3 seconds. Very inclined to take this track off any future calendars, because apparently everyone has a very hard time keeping their cars within the track limits when you have such huge rumble strips and runoff areas. Vanilla taking the lead onto the final lap as we predicted, because of the DRS swaps. Zuluxi can try to steal away getting across the finish line first, but with the amount of penalties, Vanilla is going to be tonight's winner. down through turn 12 and 13 and 14. It's like a triple right-hander. Round 15, Zuluxi looking for a move on the outside, down through 16. Zuluxi trying to go on the inside, burning the DRS, trying to get across the line first. Vanilla, your winner. Followed by Zuluxi. Next across the line is going to be Sasuke. With penalties, that promotes Dragonflies up to P2. Oh, that's why I didn't show it, because it wasn't a serve penalty. Now it shows up. So next up across the line, so Zuluxi actually didn't fall back that far because everyone else had penalties. So my prediction of her going back to P6, wrong. My apologies. She still finished on the podium, P3. Pugleg cross line. Boogie, our clean driver for tonight, P8. Followed up by Truth across the line. And our last running car in P10, AO, finishing out our race here at Qatar. Zuluxi given our driver of the day. Big moves from P12 all the way up to finishing P3 after penalties. Your winner tonight, Vanilla Spilla, a well-deserved win. Did everything right, got pole position, fought hard, did the proper tire strategy, came across the line, P1 here at Qatar. That is round 12 of tonight. Vanilla Spilla with both sprint and race, our big winner for the evening, scoring 32 points. Classification for the race, though, is going to be Vanilla, Dragonflies, Zuluxi, Corey, Sasuke, Oscar, Buglife, Boogie, Truth, AO, Draco, and Hayden. So that is round 12 complete. Our next race will be next Sunday for the final round at Imola in Italy. We look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you for coming out tonight. This was round 12 of Prowler Racing League in Qatar. We will see you next week at Imola. Good night, everybody.